What is up, guys? I am back. It is time to continue where we left off. Well, last time we were trying to get that player controller to work. Trying to get movement to work in this game. Which, right now, I have no idea what is going on. And it also seems like VS Code is not very loving of this C# script, so I'm gonna swap. Yeah, it's giving me all this error. Despite that, I should have the things that are in here. So for now, we're just gonna swap out of this into something that I prefer. So let me go to settings and change this. Because right now it's still opening up in here, while writer is the go-to. There we go. Now if you open this up in writer, okay, there we go. You should see some actual highlighting. Okay. So now, right, now that we have changed this so that we're just changing the velocity and not accelerating, it should work how I think it should. It's what I thought, but I guess it's not doing what I thought it is. Okay, so it's not working. Get rid of friction. Yeah, I think we're probably doing this wrong. Let's check this player. Let's set his speed to something different. And let's just see what happens. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything here. Am I doing something wrong? I think I know what's going on. We need else, right? Because I think this doesn't work if I'm moving up, but it'll probably work if I'm moving down, which isn't the desired effect. Let me try this and see if it's going to do what I'm asking it to do. No, it's still not moving. That's very confusing. Is it because I'm using set and that doesn't do anything? That's probably the reason why, actually. It probably only lets you, it probably doesn't let you use sets. It's not mutable. So you have to do this. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, it is working now. But it's not pausing. Like, it's not stopping when there's no input, right? Which is completely wrong. Oh, I set this to 0, 0. Yeah, there we go. To be honest, I don't think this is correct. I do believe you're supposed to use like time delta or something to have smoother movement, but we'll find out if this is gonna work out or not. Okay, it's working. So let's step for the rest of our code. what I want to do instead is I want to say I want this just control this, so we're not going to care about this. And then for the next part, let's say if it's right, we move right. And then if it's left, we move left. And then same over here, we want this to be this, and this to be this. So now, in theory, we should be able to move left and right without too much of a problem here. I do also want to decrease this dude's size because he is pretty massive. So let me see, how do I want to change his sprite, because he's pretty big. Let's try to use scale tool. That's not it. Rect tool. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Let's just move him up to the center. And let's come run and see if we can get anything done here. Yeah, and he can even go diagonal. This is exactly how I want it to be. There's practically no bugs here. Okay, so we have that. Now, let's see what we want to do. This is player controller. Probably want player movement controller, that's what we call it, but yeah, we can stick with this. Let's see. Let's make let's see what kind of things we want to do. Right, we want a management system, some sort of way to manage certain stats and things about a player. Right. So let's do this. Let's give this player. Okay. Let me think. Because we definitely want some way to actually have a system, right? We want monsters, we want to be able to fight them, do damage, do whatever to them. And to do that, we need a whole management system. But right now, since it's so broad, I want to work from the way bottom up. I think that's what we want to do, right? Bottom up. And let's first try to implement a system that makes more sense to me. We want to start with the easy stuff, right? So let's add an objective. Let's have a damage system. I think that's what we want first. But before we even do something like that, we need to bring in a monster. So let's go to our packs and bring something in that we can test against. So let's take a look. Prefabs? Yeah, there we go. Let's just bring in the first character here in here. Here is our first monster of the day. Right, and we want to move him around. Move him like up here. Now, the prefab here doesn't really matter, in my opinion. But we'll just ride this through. So let's see, how do we want to do this? We want more scripts, that's for sure. Okay, so here's what we want, right? We want a sort of stat system, a hierarchical structure. So let me pull up some sort of diagram. Maybe it'll be easier to see what I am trying to do, right? Okay, so what we want is a class system. Script wise, right? We want some sort of entity, right? Okay, what do we call? I think we can just call it entity for now. Entity is going to have all sorts of things. It's going to have like your attributes, something that every entity should have. Or maybe we shouldn't call it an entity, right? Maybe we should call it a... No, let's just keep that for now. It's gonna have hit points, right? Because everything needs to have hit point. Defense system. It also needs to need some sort of attack scaling. ETK. That's the most basic thing that we're gonna want. Just to keep it simple. We're not gonna plan too much about the system and how it's going to work. But that should be what we want. And the system is going to be super simple. We're not going to do any abstract math with this. This is going to be our... And after that, we're going to have player, two other classes that inherit from this entity. And then we have a monster class. Wait, does C# support multi-inheritance? If it doesn't, that's gonna suck, because we want mix-ins. If it doesn't have mix-ins, then it's kind of bad. Oh, C# has interface. Apparently. So look up C# interface. Okay, so they do have interface, which is really freaking cool. We got multiple inheritance. Oh, okay, so that's all we need to know. I don't think... Okay, so that's cool. We also want abstract class, C#. Abstract class. Okay, so that's cool. That's all we needed to know. I think everything else should be fine. So yeah, we want these two guys to be in here. Some other stuff we probably want would be movement speed, right? So let's do speed. And that is our basic system. And let me add some this right. Let me switch my headphones and to something that I'm going to use. Okay, stop it. All right, let's get back to it. Okay. So this is our basic. We can even call it a character rather than entity. So let's look up the definition for entity. Yeah, I think that's just called entity. Never mind. Entity should be fine. But what would be the difference between these two is something that's going to be completely unknown to me. But for now, that's what we want. So let's create a script. Go back to here. Create C# script. Let's create a script called entity. And let's get in here. And we probably, to be exact, we can just get rid of this, to be honest. Because we're not going to need this stuff. What we want is a class system. So let's do hit points, so HP. We can do float instead. Let's do public. Hit points. What session name is? What is this, bruh? Why is this the name? What do you mean? Because this is not doing. This is lowercase, right? Why is it telling me to do this instead of? I'm so confused. Okay, it should be abstract class. Let me just look up naming convention for C# because I have no idea. Seems like functions are usually capital letters. Variables are lowercase. So why is it telling me to do something this dumb? When it should be lowercase hit points or something like that. But in this case, it should be this. Does not match the rule fields private. You know what? I'll just do what he's asking me to do for now. Maybe they're right. Anyway, public floats defense floats attack and then public float movement speed. So the point just says never used. What typo in comments hit points. How's that a typo, bro? That's not a typo. Hit point. Just saw a hit point right now. How do I shut this guy up? This is not a typo. Add to your dictionary. Personal. There we go. This is our most basic stats here. And then you are going to somehow inherit from that. See how to import. Interface expected. Wait, can you only do one class? Ain't no way. I guess you can only do one. Guess that makes sense though. It says I can use class, and I can do both. Mostly because I don't have entity imported or something. I don't get. Entity interface name expected. I don't like the way that this is going. Maybe I cannot use abstract. I should call it a class. That didn't do anything. Oh no, but C# does not import multiple class inheritance. Okay, never mind. So we can't use class, which is kind of lame, but not much we can do here. Because, I mean, who wants to write this infinite times, right? And you're not allowed to use interfaces because interfaces don't have attributes. Because of that, this isn't really going to work super well, but let's just let it slide for now. So we can't use this. So we're gonna have to delete this. We'll try to do something else later. Does not match the root unity serialized field. Okay. So what we want, right, is we want I mean right now it's saying player controller. And player controller shouldn't have information stored on here like this sort of data. It should just be about controlling a player. So we need like a file or like a model file, right? That's what I'm thinking of, and just have it be stored in the model instead of being stored in controller, because it really doesn't make that much sense to do so. But there is no inheritance that allows. I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense to inherit. So okay, so in a way, I think we should extrapolate this out of here. Maybe we should create player model, which will store all that information instead of having, controller do all the work. But it doesn't make sense. Controller should just control a model. So let's do that real quick. Go in here, get the model to go in. And the model should not have to inherit from anything. It doesn't need any of this stuff. Here's the controller. But then this has the rigid body. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay. So we should probably take this out and put it in here. Right? And instead of this, we want a private, say, player model. Right? And instead of this, we want but at the same time, maybe it should be public instead. I'm gonna say player model dot do this. Let's do this. So Alt J. It's Control D. Okay, it's Control G. Get all of you guys, and we're just gonna say model dot movement speed. Now we don't know which one is. What in the world is this name convention? It just says player model. That's gonna be super confusing. is it possible to assign this outside? But give it attributes. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. This is not a good idea. Yeah, this is really confusing here. Because, I mean, in a way, this doesn't really work. Guess we should just give it every single attribute and the player controller. But then it'll be have a long list of stuff, and that would be a kind of a pain to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I guess this is not a good idea, and this won't actually work. Player controller should also have player data in it. It's really hit or miss. So we're gonna revert this back because this apparently does not work. But now it's gonna be super annoying to fix, to deal with, because there's no model to work with. This isn't very organized. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no organization here. Well, there's not much we can do, so we're just going to leave it like this for now. Seems like we're gonna be busy today. Alright, so tell you what, I'm gonna have to stop this for now and move on. And we'll finish this up later. Because right now, something is going on in the background. So, yeah, have a good one, guys.